Hi, welcome to Tech Talk. I'm Kevin Steeprow, Vice President of Design Engineering. Today I'm joined by Sonny Sachdeva, our practice lead for enterprise networking, who's going to talk about Cisco SDA with us. Hey Sonny, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm really confused. SDA, I know Cisco's got a big play in it. We're hearing about it elsewhere, but I'm not really sure what it is all about. Can you give me some background?
Sure. So, SDN has been a buzzword for many years. I was in a national sales meeting for a company in 2015, I believe, and I think the big projection was that SDN was going to be the next upcoming technology. That was 2015. So I think basically what's happening now is SDN is so popular, Cisco made 3 of them. So Cisco has SD-WAN for the WAN. We have SDN for the data centers called ACI, Application-Centric Infrastructure. And for the campus, for the wired and wireless, we have SDA, Software-Defined Access.
So again, SDA, SDN, I'm just not smart enough. What's the real difference between these?
Sure. So if you go to opennetworking.com and look at a very basic definition of what is an SDN, they define it as a separate control plane and a forwarding plane, where a controller can manage multiple devices. So that is just a very basic SDN. Now Cisco SDA goes a step beyond that because it adds assurance, which provides visibility and troubleshooting, and it adds in Cisco ISE for security. So overall, with all those pieces, the whole is greater than the sum of all its parts. So we have just as beyond SDN.
All right, so again, if I'm a customer, this all sounds great. Like you said, it's been coming for a long time. Why should I care about it today? What's in it for me?
Right. If you own if you have a network, then you want this, right? Basically, at this point, you're managing all your devices manually. Every single time you have to make a change, you have to go into each device and make a change. As an example, if you want to you have to make one change where you have to add a specific type of devices. You have to create different subnets, separate VLANs. Then you have to go to each individual switch in the path, add VLANs. Each time you're manually touching something, there's a risk, right? So and that's the way it's been since inception, right? So, at this point, this needed to be kind of redone, rethought, and that's what SDA is. That's where software-defined networking comes in. If you look at virtualization, hardware abstraction, where it has brought benefits to the server world, the storage world, even the wireless world, nobody's configuring things individually at this moment. It's all about automation orchestration, and that comes from hardware abstraction, it's from virtualization. And that's what we're bringing now to the wired and wireless from a campus perspective. We're taking everything and we're focusing on a policy. So it's policy-based architecture. It's focusing on the wired and wireless together.
I think I'm almost getting it now, so thank you. So it sounds like there's a reasonable amount of complexity still involved in all this. If I'm a customer, what should I expect as part of going on this journey?
Yeah, it's a good journey. It's definitely the end is gonna be worth it. But there are multiple steps to this journey. There are multiple components, as I mentioned. So this is a journey where you can begin with upgrading your hardware, your network infrastructure, whether it's wired or wireless. You can take a look at deploying ISE in your environment to make sure that you have at least the framework, the components for the framework. You can deploy assurance to just get started with getting visibility into your environment. And then finally, what you can do at that point is deploy the automation engine, which is the automation orchestration. That is the heart and soul of this whole SDA architecture. And that ties in the assurance, which is the visibility and troubleshooting aspects, and the ISE, which is the security aspects. So it ties everything together and provides one single GUI from where you can manage your environment. So that's the journey.
I can't think of a better person to bring on board to walk through this. Thanks a lot for being here. One final question. If our customers want to see this in action, what should they do?
They should contact Red River. We have it running in our labs. We work with it. We work with Cisco engineers, Cisco BUs, to make sure that we understand what is happening in the latest development code. This is still a very much evolving and maturing technology. So there are frequent changes, especially if you're looking at brownfield opportunities. You need to talk to us.
Thanks again, Sonny. I think I'm starting to get it, so hopefully the rest of you out there are getting it as well. And if you have any more questions about SDA, join us for the follow-on videos and then contact Red River.